Hello friends, welcome to this presentation on how to clear JAIIB in 10 easy steps. JAIIB is one of premier exams for bankers, especially when most banks are giving additional increments on clearing and many even reimbursing the exam fees. JAIIB not only gives you increment but also makes you a confident banker. The knowledge imparted by JAIIB is immense. Friends, I joined the bank in a scale 5 branch and hence you can imagine the workload on a newly recruited officer. I used to come back at 7 or even 8 in the evening and then get exhausted for study. So that time, more than learning the content of JAIIB books, I was more focused on getting the increment because I knew if I go page by page, I can never clear the exam quickly. So I used some strategies which I will discuss in this PPT. Many ask me how I clear JAIIB and CIB in a very first attempt. But my answer is simple. It's not hard work. Actually, we need some smart work. Let's start with agenda of this webinar. First, we will learn the short introduction of what a JAIIB and a CIB is and its importance. Then we will study how you can increase the productivity. Friends, we are bankers, and as most of you must be facing, that you hardly get time to study with lots of work at branch. Hence, increasing productivity is important. Then we will have a deep analysis of JAIIB and what you need to crack this exam. Then we will focus on how to keep yourself updated. As many as 4 to 5 questions you will get from latest developments in banking industry. Like in 2016, you had demonetization. In 2017, many banks faced PCA, that is prompt corrective action by RBI. And in 2017, we had GST. Friends, these are important banking developments and you will face questions from these. Then comes an important part, that is motivation. Yes, that's important because most of the bankers work in highly demotivated environment. With workload, staying away from families, we tend to become demotivated. You must have seen many seniors who are in their later stages of their career but have no motivation for JAIIB or CIB. So my advice is to crack JAIIB and CIB in very early stage of your banking career. Then we will discuss the syllabus of JAIIB. We need to analyze what to study and what to leave. We need to be super selective because if you see the syllabus, it's vast. You can't finish topic by topic in the limited time you get after office. Moreover, you can't take leave before exams. Getting leave is super tough these days. Yes friends, we all face this. Leave problem is a big issue. So my point is, you need to be super choosy in the syllabus. Then we go paper by paper. We discuss the strategies to clear each paper and each module separately. What are important topics and what to skip. We will start with paper 1, that is principles and practices of banking. Then we will go to paper 2, that is accounting and finance for bankers. And at last we will study paper 3, that is legal and regulatory aspects of banking. At last but not the least, I have a bonus gift for you all. So do stay with me till last of this presentation. Let's start with the introduction. Friends, you need to be the member of IIBF by registering at their website to sit in JAIIB. Registration is online now and IIBF no longer accepts the hard copy of applications. The advertisement normally comes in January and August for the May or June or November or December exam each year. Since registration is made online, you need to have your access to internet banking or your debit or credit card. The offline mode no longer exists. Friends, during this webinar, I will give you many advices till the end. These are all observed and practiced by me during my journey to clear JAIIB. If you differ, I accept those differences gracefully. I am seeing people getting difficulty in clearing these exams. Few days back, I was reading on a Facebook group that a person is having its his sixth attempt, and even now he failed to crack the exam. My first advice is to clear this exam in first two blocks only. The reason being, the fees you pay is valid for two blocks. So, if you can't clear the exam, you have to pay again. Above all, you have to give all the papers again. Suppose you clear two papers in the first two block, then you need to give third paper in the second block, and if you pass that paper, you will clear JAIIB. But suppose you fail to clear that paper in the last attempt, then you have to give the exam fees again and have to give all the three papers again. Hope you got the point, so better clear the exam in the first two blocks only. My second advice is related to the importance of JAIIB. Friends, JAIIB has big relevance in banking industry. So if you have plans to stay in banking for long and reach new heights, then take this exam seriously and gain as much knowledge as you can. My third advice is for newly recruited people. Clear this exam as soon as you enter the banking industry. Most of you are just out of your college and still in study mode, so it's easier for you to learn and grasp concepts. If you take longer to clear this exam, like 5 to 10 years, then you will lose motivation, and being married and having kids, you will lose the study habit, and it's difficult to stay in that environment. You must have seen many seniors getting difficulty in clearing this exam, and that's because of this reason only. They are so much involved into their family and their personal problems that they no longer have any motivation to clear this exam. Now let's focus how to increase your productivity. Productivity is very important in clearing JAIIB because most of us are bankers and we don't have so much time. Most of us leave early for office in the morning and there is no fixed time of coming back, especially during closing months. Banking these days is a hectic job. From 10 to 5 your brain is engaged, and after coming back it's really difficult. So we need to be super productive and find ways to take time for study in our limited schedule. Friends, after completing formalities, filling the form and paying the fees, then come the preparation for big day. Friends, you need to have a special plan for this exam. You can't wait for the last moment to clear this exam. Even if you want to study for the last week before exam, you need to have a blueprint or a plan. Frankly, I studied only for 1 week before exam, but I planned long before what and how to study during that 1 week. But I used to study every morning 3 to 4 hours, that is 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Friends, you only need 50% in each paper to pass this exam, and believe me, it's possible with limited study. We don't need to do PhD in each paper or topic. Most of us are here to have increment. Let's face this fact. Very rare I see people who want to clear JAIIB for knowledge or want to clear this exam with 90% or more. Most candidates have only increment on their mind when they enroll for this exam. I will focus on how to clear this exam with minimal efforts. So with vast syllabus, you need to be super productive on whatever time you get. When you got 1 month left for the exam, don't waste time, be it your branch or your home. Prefer early morning study as this is the best time. You are free from all headaches of branch or work and your mind is fresh from overnight sleep. Study of 2 hours in the morning is equivalent to 4 hours of study at night. I used to wake up at 4:30 in the morning and study till 8 a.m. and this used to be my most productive time. So friends, utilize your mornings as well, and this is the key to your productivity. Another tip is to take short breaks during study. Drink lots of water while studying to keep yourself fresh. Let's move on to the analysis of JAIIB. The structure of JAIIB consists of 3 papers. First is Principles and Practices of Banking, then is Accounting and Finance for Bankers, and at last we have Legal and Regulatory Aspects of Banking. Each paper consists of 120 questions with the time frame of 2 hours. Mind you friends, it's ample time to finish your exam. Time is not an issue in JAIIB, frankly. Friends, JAIIB is doing every bit so that you can pass this exam. There is no negative marking, so attempt all the questions. Don't leave any question unmarked. Do revise when you finish the paper. Now, what JAIIB tests? So JAIIB basically tests your knowledge of banking concepts, then the conceptual grasping of your what you know and your concepts, and then it's analytical and logical exposition, then it's problem solving skills, and at last we have case studies. So these days you need to focus more on case studies. You are given a practical scenario and you are given the answer choices. Case studies are normally difficult as these test your true banking skills. JAIIB these days is focusing more on case studies. You will get one problem set and then you will have 5-6 questions related to that set. So if you know that, you can get all the questions right, and if you don't know, then your 5 questions are gone straight away. Then comes the most important thing, that is what you need to pass this exam. A candidate in JAIIB is declared pass first if he gets minimum marks for passing is 50 out of 100. The candidate securing at least 45 marks in each subject with an aggregate of 50% in all subjects of JAIIB examination in a single attempt will also be declared pass. Friends, this point B is very important, very important. You need to know this rule clearly. I passed my JAIIB exam in very first attempt because of this only. In 2 attempts I got more than in 2 subjects I got more than 50, but in one subject I scored less than 50, but more than 45. So I was declared pass altogether. Then point C is candidate will be allowed to retain credits for subjects they have passed in one attempt till the expiry of time for passing the exam. Here the expiry of time means 2 attempts. Let's see how to keep yourself updated from time to time. As 10 to 15 questions come from general awareness parts of banking. Many books are available in market, but unfortunately most of them are out of date, and even the most famous book available in the market is also give a boring reading, which even you can judge by reading first few chapters. And with less practice questions, you are bound to fail. You can find my notes and my question bank in the link provided, which I practiced, and other links are also given in the description section, which I will update from time to time. You can check the description of this video. If you practice those notes and questions, that's sufficient to pass the exam. You don't need to waste tons of your money in coaching and in big institutes. There is no need, frankly, there is no need to go for any coaching or go to any big institutes. So what you all need is, don't leave the reading habit. Read financial newspapers, IIBF Journal especially, and IBA magazine. Most of you must be receiving these magazines at your branch. So next time, take these magazines and to your home and have a quick read. You will get most questions from these only. Now we will see how to get motivated for JAIIB. Friends, this is big problem for bankers. Bankers these days don't get time for family, forget about the study time. Apart from hectic day job, the syllabus and the best books available in the market are also such that you don't feel motivated to study for JIB, frankly. But you have to find the motivation, be it through the feeling importance of increment or benefits in promotion. Most banks offer credits during the promotion process for JIB and CIB. So keep motivated till the end of your exam. So another motivation can be JIB makes you a confident banker. You are no longer a blind banker. Yes, most newly recruited bankers are blind bankers only, especially the newly officers, the probationary officers, and the clerks, uh, who verify and authorize blindly based on what the seniors say. Remember your first few days in banks. You do as your seniors say, but after JIB you become a more confident banker, and even you can argue with your seniors over certain things in which they are wrong. We all know what a KYC is. Now it's time for KYS. Know your syllabus before taking the dip in the preparation. After knowing the pattern carefully, examine the syllabus of JIB. When you take the overview of syllabus, you will realize that many things you have already studied either in your college or during the IBPS preparation phase. There are three papers as we discussed. First is the principle and practices of banking, then is accounting and finance for bankers, and last is legal and regulatory aspects of banking. So with such a huge syllabus, you need to plan this exam in a smart way. Smart study is the only way to sail in this exam. Friends, out of three papers, A and C, that is principles and legal, require minimum time and minimum effort. But accounting is tough nut to crack, especially for people with technical and science backgrounds. So paper B, that is finance, requires definite plan. If you don't plan for paper B well, then be ready to face the JIB again. Now let's move on to discuss the strategies to clear paper 1, that is principles and practices of banking. With a bit of smart work, you can easily clear this exam. I refer Macmillan as it's the only book available in the market, but it's way too old and way too much theory. We don't need too much theory to clear this exam. To clear JIB, most important thing is practice questions and case studies, which most of the books are lagging. First, I give tips for my lazy banker friends or time-starved friends. Don't read the book page by page, or just read the definitions in the bold, and don't forget to read the summary or the points to remember given at the last of each chapter, and mock practice papers especially. I have compiled around 1000 questions which you can find in the description section. Most questions are from mock papers only. With intelligent guessing, you can easily clear this exam. And yes, I did it this way only, so you can do it also. There are other set of students who want to pass this exam with flying colors and gain good knowledge. For them, I would say focus on module A and B of this paper. These two modules cover your banking, which you will do daily, because these are the practical modules and deals with the work you do daily in the branch. Let's see module by module. In module A, that is Indian financial system, read only the topics given in the syllabus and definition. Don't go in the depth. It's better if you just practice and mock papers of this module. You will gain much knowledge by just practicing the mock papers. In module B, that is functions of banks, this module is important not only for the purpose of exam but also for the day-to-day banking, that is rules and regulations of banking. So my advice is to read it thoroughly. As this is practical module, you will get mostly case studies and practical questions like A endorses check to B, B endorses it to C, then who has the power to cancel this check? I have also compiled a book on banking case studies whose link you can see in the description. In this book you will find around more than 250 case studies, or I think it's around 300 case studies that are important for JAIIB and CIB and also for your bank promotions. This is very important book. Now let's see one such case study. Please pause the video and read the case study, then select the appropriate answer. Hope you have read that. Now, the correct answer for this case study is D. And others, that is people from commerce background or arts background, you too don't need to read from point to point. You can just read the bold terms, definitions, point to remember at the last of the chapter and our practice papers. If you do the practice paper, you will easily master this unit. Again, don't read sentence to sentence, else you can't finish this syllabus in time. Module D is related to support services, marketing of banking services. So all MBAs, BBAs or commerce people, you don't need to read this unit thoroughly. You read just bold face terms, points to remember and practice papers. Most questions you will face will be similar to marketing questions you face during your IBPS exam. So this module is a cakewalk. Since you know this topic, score as high as possible in paper 1. I already told you the reason why you should score as high as possible in this paper. Now let's move on to discuss the strategies for paper 2, that is accounting and finance for bankers. This paper is difficult not only for science graduates but also for commerce graduates since the syllabus is huge. This paper also contains 4 modules, that is module A, that is business, mathematics and fundamentals. Module B is principles of bookkeeping and accountancy. Module C is final accounts. And module D is banking operations. So the strategy to crack this paper lies in how you focus on different modules. So to crack this paper, focus more on modules B, C and D because these modules only will make you clear this exam. Don't take module A seriously as this is mathematics and with all numericals your time will get wasted in exam if you focus on these. So do module A only at the last. And also while during your preparation also do module A only at the last because you require to practice questions and it takes time to solve the questions, numerical specifically. If you get time, go for easier topics like depreciation and forex. Moving forward, this paper is a piece of cake for commerce people and MBAs. But being the syllabus is huge, even the commerce graduates face it difficult. For science people, best thing to do is to take help of any commerce tutor near your locality and show him or her your syllabus and ask them to give you an overview of these topics in a layman language so that you can at least understand something. Friends, I used this strategy. I took the help of a commerce teacher. Daily for 1 week after the bank, I used to go for 1 hour to take the coaching. 10 days study only made me score highest in this paper. And that's much better for a science graduate who didn't even know what a debit or credit is before entering a bank. Yes, friend, that's true. Clearing JAIIB and CIB in very first attempt and that too by science graduates motivates a lot. In module C, bank accounting and balance sheet are important. Here learn which entries in balance sheet are coming to asset side and which comes to the liability side. Questions are asked which side of the balance sheet these items belong. These questions are very important. In module D, ratio analysis is important. Generally data are given and a set of 5 questions come asking to calculate various ratios. Even here, if you can't manage to read point to point, read summary and do practice papers. By practicing questions, you can learn how to calculate various ratios. Now we shift our focus on legal and regulatory aspects of banking. This paper is theoretical and boring too, so as you have to cram the rules and regulations, but anyhow you have to read it. This too contains 4 modules, that is regulations and compilations, legal aspects of banking operations, banking related laws, and last is commercial laws with reference to banking operations. Just read important things, important headings given in the bold, and don't try to go in depth with case studies they gave in the book. As usual, summary and practice papers are important. Do check the links given in description for this in this video. The best way to prepare for this paper is to practice mock test papers. With questions, you can learn the topics easily. So my basic strategy was to read important headings and my notes, along with the objective question sets and case studies. You can check out the case studies and practice papers. With this simple strategy, I managed to score 52, 54 and 48 respectively in these 3 papers and successfully passed the JAIIB. And since I got these scores in my very first attempt and my aggregate in 3 papers was above 50, I was declared pass. Now here you can understand the importance of scoring high in any 2 papers. Just see, I got 48 in paper 3, but my 2 marks were adjusted from the paper 1 and paper 2, where I got 52 and 54 respectively. So it's important to score high in 2 papers. So now last but not the least, thanks for staying with me till last. Hope you like this webinar and gain something. Do comment how you like this video and don't forget to subscribe this channel by hitting the red subscribe icon. Do subscribe so that I can make more good videos in future. So I have a gift for you. You can check the description and get your free 100 question bank of JAIIB. You can also find links to my bank promotion book and the case study book also. These books are revolutionary books and you will gain a lot by reading these books. I bet you won't regret after subscription. Again, please subscribe by hitting the red subscription button so that you will receive the important notification on time. Lastly, I would like to wish you all best of luck for your JAIIB exams. Thanks for watching.